welcome to the MetPro Method Podcast. I'm your host, Crystal O'Keefe. Today, I'm joined by MetPro coach Jessee Davis, and we are going to be discussing date nights on MetPro. Jessee, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Always fun to chat and help share the wealth.
So, Jessee, I'm curious, when we talk about date night, why do you think that it's important to kind of give people ideas about having a date night?
That's such a great question, right? Topic of the day. Because if we don't take time to grow every relationship that we have, it's not going to develop into something that is healthy and is going to be sustainable, just like our food and our exercise, right? So we take care of ourselves, right? For all of those on this call, you're trying to be better. We're trying to make better choices and live a healthier life, whatever that looks like for all of us. And that is also nourishing those relationships. So that's why I first would like to say, when we think of date night, this is not just for somebody who has a significant other, a partner. You know, you can be single, you can, not have kids. You can, there's people around you where you can just say, hey, let's go hang out. Let's go nourish this friendship. Let's go nourish this relationship. And so I wanted to try to think of different ways that we can be innovative and create not just a life of work, but also of fun and joy and laughter, right? We should enjoy life a little bit too, right?
Absolutely. That is such an excellent point. It's not, we call it date night, but it's really, we really should probably call it invest in your relationship night. Whatever that kind of relationship is, whether it's with your kids, your friends, or your significant other. It could be with anybody.
That's right.
There's a lot of couple events that kind of revolve around food. I know in our house, whenever I was dating my husband, we would, even after we were married, we would have a lot of things that were about food. So if it was dinner and a movie, or it would be celebrating anniversary, go out to a nice restaurant. So food factors into a lot of things. But if you're eating healthily and you're trying to reduce, let's say, carbs or cutting out sugar, it can be tough to eat a lot of meals together. So I'm curious what ideas you have for how can date night be done that isn't going to mess up all that hard work you're doing on MetPro.
Yes, right. And as a coach, we know we talk about this every day to every client who has a partner, even if it's date night with a child, right? Maybe your kids are just like, hey, mom, or dad, you guys are not doing anything fun. We don't get to go out for pizza. We don't, we don't get to do these things that maybe they find fun. So finding a way to broaden our horizons and pick different things, I love to do. And as coaches, we're always talking about it, right? So I would definitely say that's one of the things I love about working here, that we're always talking about, hey, what did you guys do this weekend? What was fun? And really encouraging that outdoor living. Most of us live in California, so we have the ability to have a lot of things that are date related that are outdoors. So I try to do a good job of thinking of things that would be good for indoors and outdoors, crowds, not crowds. So hopefully some of my suggestions will be helpful to all.
I'm gonna hold you to it, because right now we're in the middle of a snowstorm, and they have closed all the schools here in Missouri, and it's 8-degree wind chill outside. So let's see how you do, Jessee.
Okay, pressure on. So we'll start with the at home. So in no order of what's the most fun, but if we're stuck at home, right? We know that one thing we can do is bust out those old board games. I have a ton of board games. I like classics, but nowadays board games have gotten so big in the last 2 years. And I swear every time I get together with my siblings, I got 3 sisters and a brother. But when we get together, somebody's always bringing a new card game to the table. So if you want suggestions on card games, you just hit me up, shoot me an email. I've got plenty, but you can go old school, right? We could do Risk. We could do Monopoly if we have time, if we're snowed in. I do have children, so some of these games like Life, that's an old school game. Or chess, right? Teaching them how to play chess. Those are all really good games. So game night, we can make it a game night, all ages included. One that I really thought was creative was do dinner blindfolded.
What?
So whatever you make, right? So it can be MetPro approved. Who said we can't, cook together and cook up the chicken and cook up the veggies, and you can make it a date night and cook healthy, right? So we're at home, we got to eat dinner anyway. Why don't we spend that time together? Because sometimes, if you're like me, it's either you cook or I cook. Why would we both waste time in the kitchen and cook together, right?
Because my husband's ultra picky and we have to have 2 separate meals, Jessee. That's why. Not everybody's like that. What?
I love it. See, we all struggle. So I thought that's really fun. So try to do, blindfold. And if you wanted to make it fun, maybe tell them, you're not going to tell them what they're eating, right? And they just have to it would be hard, but I thought it'd be fun. That would be such a story to try to eat blindfolded. So.
Yeah.
Or eat in the dark.
Okay.
Maybe if blindfold is too much, then just turn the lights out or go to, put up a nice little picnic in one of your rooms with the lights down.
And try to guess the different flavors and things like that. Make it a whole game of, okay.
Yeah. You could really take it to another level if you're creative. So I try to stay broad. What else? Oh, I kind of alluded to the picnic, right? So whether it's indoor or outdoor, we can always have a picnic. And if it's fun to go get a picnic basket. So this is my theme for all of you people out there that have friends, that have family members, that have kids. Because again, remember, date night doesn't have to be with a lover. It can be with a friend or a child. If you get things like a picnic basket and everything's in the picnic basket, all your silverware, all you have to do is pack your little food. And you start a little notepad in the picnic basket. And you are the first one to use the picnic basket on your adventure. And then you write your adventure in it. And then you hand the picnic basket to somebody else. So somebody in your family, a friend, somebody at church, whatever group that you have. And then everybody can share their picnic stories.
Aww.
So another way to kind of create a healthy environment, right? Because we want to encourage others as well. So I like the picnic basket idea. It's one of my favorites. And you would be crazy. You can find some crazy picnic baskets on Amazon. I've looked. I love picnic baskets. One of my favorite gifts to give is a picnic basket.
Really?
And then, yeah, it's one of my favorites. And you can get backpacks. Anyways, that's a podcast for another day. Picnic baskets. And then the last one for at home is baking. So, again, we don't want to feel like we can't use food as date night. We just want to learn what are the more productive ways to do it, right? If we want to enjoy something. So I challenge people that if you do like to bake and, something that you do with your kids is baking, you can make a ton of things that are sugar-free without added sugar. You add applesauce or you add, fruits like dates. There's a lot of things that we can learn to make that are going to be more I would say cleaner for you, for the family. And then gelatin, we were just talking about gelatin as a group the other day, because gelatin is a form of collagen and collagen is a big thing nowadays. And so let's see if we can make, something with that gelatin, make a soup or thicken up, I don't know. So many things.
I bet there's some good baking opportunity ideas out on the MetPro website because we have recipes out there, right? So I bet there's some good options.
Yes, that is a great idea. Check that out. So learning to bake, but in a good way, right? And creating, I've made things with applesauce. Sometimes I'll use just fruit juice instead, if you're just looking for something liquidy. Lots of different things. So those are the things we can do at home if we're snowed in and we don't live in California.
Okay. I like it. You've passed the test.
All right. Can I say the fun ones? The most fun are going to be the ones where we get to move, right? The ones where we actually get to be outside and moving around. So I do have a lot of couples that exercise. That is their date every day. They work out together, whether that's they go for a run or they walk the dogs, and if you have the ability to make a routine out of it, that's even better because you know that you're going to get it in. So I like to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? You get to hang out, you get to catch up on your day, and you get to burn some calories. So that's always fun. If you live in a place that's got a lot of nature and flowers and plants and wildlife and stuff, My favorite flower plant app is the Plant Snap. But it's older. And I think there's another one called Picture This. Okay. And it's got a lot better reviews. I don't use that one, but I think I'm going to download it and check it out. So there's lots out there for plants, for flowers, and then you can go exploring and find pretty, pictures or plants and stuff and take pictures. And it's really fun. I love to do it. We live in a very rural community in Chico, California. So again, we love to do our things outside. And you take that picnic basket with you, right? You take a picnic, go exploring, go for a hike.
It's a fun little kind of scavenger hunt that you're kind of building in there,
Yeah, exactly. You might make your first one, what kind of, natives there are, what kind of plants are around, and make that little hunt for the kids. I love it. So fun. Okay, what about going to the market, right? And so some people have indoor markets, outdoor markets. I know with COVID right now, we're going to wear our masks or whatever the needs are going to be per city, but strolling around, getting your fresh produce, keeping it local. I'm a big advocate of the closer to home I can get, the better off everyone is. So take a stroll in the market. We have a Sunday night or a Sunday morning market that's year round. So that's one of my favorite things to do.
What a great idea.
How about putt-putt golf? Yeah, I love the market.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
fun.
If you live you can go to Pike's Market, all those Seattle people. I have a couple rock stars in Seattle that I know are listening to this podcast right now. And you guys get Pike's Market, which is the best one I've ever been to. But again, I haven't been to them all. Anyway, and then bowling or putt-putt, right? We can do things that are going to get you bowling, get you out, get you moving. Super fun, not anything too hard, but the whole family really can do as well. Nothing food related, right? Now, if we are used to bowling and we're like, well, when I go bowling, I need to have a beer. Well, then plan for that. Okay. Plan for bringing, a non-caloric beverage or, having something else that takes some gum with you, right? Have something, create a new habit in case there's an old habit that you associate with, drinking and eating and stuff. And of course we can go for bike rides. This is really fun depending on where you live, because you can rent the tandem bikes, so you guys are right on the same bike that are, I think that's called a tandem bike, right?
It is. I'm just picturing it and I'm like, oh, there would be an injury 10 seconds in. That's
I don't know about that. I like the one that's side by side. That one seems safer. I love it. So we could make a bike ride fun. Now, of course, if you have your own bikes and you want to go for a ride, that's good. I like to go back to being a kid again, right? So grab a ball, go to the park, kick it around. You have a backyard, get a soccer ball. Again, these are things to where if you have a group of friends, maybe you guys can all pitch in and get a ball. One person gets a basketball, one person gets a softball or, gloves and whatever. And then you guys just kind of rotate them and you're like, okay, date night switching and, just creating things to where maybe you don't have to invest in all the equipment yourself.
Yeah, that's great.
Go to that park. And then dancing, for all of those people that love dancing out there, that's a calorie burner for sure. So I'd say make sure you eat dinner, maybe then go dancing. Don't go dancing on an empty stomach. Or you can dance at home, right? We can put that music on and dance in the living room. I love doing that. I'll dance anywhere. So I'm a dancer for those out there. What else? Going to those indoor trampoline places.
Oh, fun.
So those are really big. That's kind of fun. Now, just speaking from a mother who had children, the all natural way, trampolines are not something that I do. But for those out there, maybe those younger couples, trampolining could be really fun.
She said delicately.
Okay. Said delicately, right? If you do have access to water, we can go kayaking, paddleboarding, right?
Oh.
Windsurfing.
I got to move out of the Midwest. These are so fun. We can't do any of that here.
I know. I was like, I know I'm going to, be speaking to a specific demographic, but then that makes you say, okay, well, we got to get away from this place. We got to take a weekend weekend getaway. So I will tell you, one thing I think is really cute is how hard it would be to recreate your first date. So that would be a really fun one. You can remember back to the very first date and be like, oh, that'd be fun to, recreate that. And if it is food, or you went to a brewery for your first date, and just do it and have it be an off-plan meal.
Yeah, that's okay,
we don't have
too.
To be perfect all the time.
Right. Yeah, that's great.
I like that one.
Very sweet. Very sweet. I like that a lot.
Yes. And then the other ones I was going to say would be like our weekend adventures, right? Because if we do have time to say, hey, we work Monday through Friday, there's no time for shenanigans. We got to work, we got to eat. It's boring. It's not fun. Then you need to make a weekend getaway. You have to put that on your calendar. I think for sanity, work-life balance, if that's not a word that's overused yet, go camping. I love camping because you pack your own food. You have to, right? If you don't pack your food, where are you going camping that you don't need to eat? So making sure that you have all the food that you need, and getting into the outdoors, bringing what you need. I love camping, getting to the beach. If you can't get to the beach, watch the sunrise or the sunset wherever you live. Like that's just like sit outside, get somewhere where you can connect with that sunshine.
What a wonderful idea. I love that.
And then I don't know if you've heard, but there are there's an app for everything. And so an app that I just heard about is called, see now the pressure again, Turo. Have you heard of Turo?
No.
Turo. That's another app. And we are not getting a kickback for any of these apps, people. So just in case you're wondering, that is one that I use. And you can rent a car. You can rent a car for a day. You can rent a car for a weekend, whatever you want to rent a car for. And so they actually have cars on there that are like the Teslas and Bentleys and really nice Mercedes. And so you can actually rent a car for a weekend. But that would be a really fun date. Take a road trip.
I love it.
Somewhere around. Do you have somewhere that you guys have been like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to just drive there and check that place out. Rent a car, make it fun. And yeah, so utilizing the technology we have nowadays.
Smart.
I love it. Take a little boat ride. Take a cruise for a weekend or something, depending on where you live. Getting out in that water. And then if you're so lucky, you could do a hot air balloon. I've never been on one. That's definitely on my bucket list.
It's on mine too.
That's a fun date night right there. Just sit down with your people and write down your bucket list. What is it that you guys want to do? And then let's plan, right? Like we've learned in life, the more we plan for things, the more they're going to come true, the more likely they are to happen. So, and then the other thing that's going on these days are they're called paint and sip, because I know people like to drink alcohol when they paint. We don't have to. And I actually was in Chicago visiting my sister for Thanksgiving. And so we did I'm sorry about that. We were in Chicago for Thanksgiving and we did spray and sip. But we don't drink. My sister doesn't drink and her girlfriend doesn't drink. So we just went and had a great time. And I wish I had my sprays. I could show you guys. We learned how to spray paint. That was so cool. So,
neat.
You can do these more artistic things. Yeah. And then you have something to take away from it. And always remember that date. It was really fun. So check out whatever you've got in the area. And even if you need to Zoom, I bet you could do one at home if you have the equipment and you go to the store, the art store, and just get what you need. You could probably Google, how to paint a sunflower or something. That's what I learned first with my sunflower. Okay. And then maybe go to the bookstore, walk around the bookstore.
Yeah.
Look at the books, take them out of the shelf, go to a certain genre with your, significant other, whoever you're with, and try to, find your guys' favorite books, and then maybe, you can read it together or something like that. That'd be really fun. Shout out to Coach Ryan, him and his girlfriend, they have a book called The Adventure Challenge, and he's always telling us about the different adventures that they have been on. And one of them was go to the bookstore and find or find a stranger and have them give you a recipe to make. So
that's so cool. I remember him posting about that. Yeah, that's so fun. I love that.
Yeah, I loved the idea. Yeah, and he did a well job. Ryan is a great cook. For those of you that don't know Coach Ryan, fun fact about him. So yeah, that's a great book. So if you want to find a good book, check that one out. What else do I have? I got our active ones. We've got our home ones. We've got our bucket list one, right? That's the one we really need. And then, of course, we've got the usual suspects like going to a concert, right? Going to a comedy show.
Yeah.
Putting on a good new movie on one of your favorite streaming devices.
I think you mentioned something really important about any of those, that if you tend to go places like concerts, for me, tend to revolve around, there's usually a drink or two. So either plan to go off of your plan, and kind of think about that, strategize beforehand, or add a new thing into it so you don't feel like you're missing out on that aspect of it. If you do some of these things that are, keep it fresh and fun, but that you're not like missing food, that you can change it up.
Yes. It really, I will tell you, it's very important to me, and it does break my heart when I have a client say, I am so sad because I haven't been able to go out with my friends since I started MetPro. And I'm like, oh, no, like that doesn't sound fun at all. And so it really is just kind of learning to live a new life, right? And so it's just like when we go out, this is one of my favorite tricks, is I'm just going to go get the drinks. I'm going to go like, oh, okay, I'll go grab the drinks, and then I'll just get a club soda, or I'll get a sparkling water or whatever. They don't know that there's no vodka in it.
Yeah.
And then get the drinks for everybody else. There's different ways that we can go about it where we don't have to be so obvious. Sometimes people will be just like, oh, I'm on a medication right now and I can't drink. Well, they're not going to ask you what kind of medication you're on unless they're like your best friend, and then you're lying anyway, so you might as well tell them the truth. So it depends on the group. But like if it's a business thing and you don't really have to drink, right? I know that's not really a date night, but for those little tricks, for those that need it, we've got you.
Yeah. No, those are a ton of great ideas, Jessee. So many good things to think about. And it's great. It's almost like brainstorming, because even if some of these ideas don't work, like right now with it snowing in the Midwest, they're great for like to kind of get thought starters for plans for later on in the season when it does get warmer here, or like you said, taking a trip. So those are all fantastic ideas. I wanted to share with our listeners too that, if you are a current MetPro client, if you refer a family member or friend in the last 2 weeks of February and they sign up, your MetPro coach has a special treat for you. And I don't mean like we're going to send some candy to you. I mean a really good treat. And for those listeners out there who don't know about MetPro, I just want to give a little bit of background that it's a coaching company that helps individuals with highly specific goals such as weight loss or performance. We also have a MetPro Basic app. It pushes the boundaries of nutritional innovation by utilizing a unique algorithm, and that predicts how your body will likely respond, and it gets smarter the more you use it. MetPro is not about gimmicks, fluff, or oversimplified macro tracking. It's not a simple food logging app either. People who are willing to shop and prepare for their meals that it provides can expect highly individualized adjustments every few days as it learns how you're responding. With each adjustment, you're going to get a detailed analysis of how your metabolism is responding, an individualized adjustment to your meal plan, an algorithm explanation of why it's making this recommendation, and what to expect next. MetPro even provides optional workouts for all fitness levels. So if you're looking for a simple food logging app, but you're not willing to shop or prepare for the meal plans provided, MetPro may not be for you. However, if you're ready to invest in yourself and want the most complete solution to mastering your metabolism, go to metpro.co/basic and you can try it free for 14 days. Jessee, I really appreciate your time today. Can you give people your email address to reach out to you if they have questions?
Yes, I would love it. So it's Jessee@metpro.co, and you spell that JESSEE. Don't forget that second E, at metpro.co. And I'll be happy to answer any questions or debunk any myths.
Wonderful. Listeners, that is all for this week. You can find all of the MetPro Method episodes anywhere you get podcasts, or you can go to metpro.co/podcast. Be sure to follow the show and rate and review. That lets other people know what they can expect from the show. Also, follow MetPro on social. You can learn more about MetPro at metpro.co. I'm your host, Crystal O'Keefe, and I will be back next week. Until then, remember, consistency is key.